Wow, credit where credit's due. They did an absolutely phenomenal job with the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So many massive moments from the video game franchise included in this movie literally every 20 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be doing our spoiler review for the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, so this is your spoiler warning. We have done a non-spoiler review, so if you want to hear our thoughts all about the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, then definitely check out that video. But as far as this video is concerned, we are going to be talking about all of the game-changing massive things that took place in the second movie. So first of all, we saw the formation of Team Heroes. So we have Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, something that I didn't think was going to be possible based on the way they were going with the first movie. But actually, by the end of this film, we have the core trio together, which is just absolutely wicked. And I'm really glad that they actually did follow the formula of what you see in the video games, whereby Knuckles at first is siding with Eggman, and then he gets really tricked by Eggman, and Eggman is only ever really using him to get to the Master Emerald, which I think really does show just how evil and how manipulative the Eggman and Robotnick character really is. If they really do follow all of the storylines from the video games, then I have a feeling that the Knuckles character will once again be tricked by Eggman, maybe in his TV series, maybe in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th movie, but I think it may well happen, and then Sonic is going to say his really famous line of Knucklehead, and I just really hope that we do get Jim Carrey returning and reprising his role as Eggman, as firstly he's just such a wicked actor, and he's just so perfectly selected to play this role, and he just does it so well. And also Robotnick / Eggman is such a pivotal villain pretty much in every single video game, bar maybe a few, so we really can't see the end of this character. So I think either if Jim Carrey doesn't want to return, then they may well recast the role, or they may well be able to convince Jim Carrey to return, as he's just so good, and I'm sure the future storylines with this character will be really, really good. Or I guess maybe for a couple of movies they could have a different villain, for example what we see in some of the games. And speaking of the games, I'm so excited about the fact that we are going to have Shadow the Hedgehog in the 3rd movie. I think it was only right to have Shadow in the 3rd trilogy of the original Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I think it's going to be so good, and the design of Shadow already just looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad that they did the redesign, as the first ever trailer that came out for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie looked absolutely awful. Literally looked like somebody was dressed up as Sonic, as opposed to being the real Sonic the Hedgehog character. And I just feel like all of the characters actually have just benefited so much from the redesign. So I'm so glad that the fans were out crying for Paramount to change it up, as everyone now looks really, really cool. And now I'm really excited as well to see which future characters they're going to include. I'm really hopeful that we see Silver the Hedgehog, Blaze the Cat is going to be absolutely wicked, Metal Sonic, I can't wait to see Jim Carrey's Robotnick character creating his own version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Team Chaotix, I wonder how they're going to be included as part of these storylines. And of course we're going to get Amy Rose. I think Amy Rose is going to be so hilarious. I can't wait to see who they're going to select to be the voice actress for this character. I'm really confident that she will also be making an appearance in the 3rd movie. She was going to appear in the 2nd film, but then they just wanted to focus it on Tails and Knuckles being introduced, and I'm sure in the 3rd movie we'll get both Shadow the Hedgehog and Amy Rose the Hedgehog, which I think will be absolutely hilarious. Speaking of Tails, I absolutely love the emotional backstory that they gave the Tails character. Firstly, I absolutely love the fact that they were just really loyal to one another in terms of Sonic and Tails, and they really did capture the brilliant friendship that you do see in all of the video games and all of the cartoons. I feel, to their credit, they wrote the Tails character really, really well. And like I said, the emotional backstory was so brilliant. How Tails was rejected on his particular planet, as he was really different to everybody else, as he has 2 tails. But then I absolutely love how they totally flip this into actually being his superpower and his super strength, and his ability to be really rising up against the haters and really twist this into a positive. I just thought was absolutely amazing. And talking of emotional storylines, I love the fact that we get to see the Longclaw character back in a bit of a hologram, advising and guiding the Sonic the Hedgehog character and explaining a little bit about the backstory between the echidnas and the owls. And I really loved how the Sonic character was so loyal to Longclaw, and how at first he was rejecting the Tom character being a bit of a parental figure, but then by the end of this movie he then calls him his father. Like I said, just such an emotional little touch, and I thought it was really nice how they really grow all of the characters and actually have really nice emotional storylines that, like I said, are a little bit different, of course, to the video games, but I feel to their credit, they did a really good job in writing something new and fresh in this particular movie adaptation. One or two things that I'm really glad that they kept from the video games is, of course, the Master Emerald, and the way in which the Master Emerald is appearing after they use the compass correctly to get to the temple was absolutely wicked. It literally feels like something that was lifted and shifted from the Sonic Adventure opening video game sequence, which was absolutely awesome. One thing that I was a little bit annoyed about with the Master Emerald was the fact that it was just so small. I feel like the Master Emerald, especially in Sonic Adventure, is just so massive. I know the latest few games have reduced the size of the Master Emerald, so in some respects you could say that they are keeping in alignment with that, but I just think the Master Emerald is so much better when it's so much bigger. But what I didn't think that they were going to include in this movie, which they did, was Super Sonic. I thought, okay, fine, if they're going to include the Chaos Emeralds, surely they won't transform Sonic into Super Sonic in the second movie. Surely that's something that you're going to see in the third movie. But actually they did do it. It was going to be something that they were going to include in the first movie, but the fact that they did include it in the second movie did look really, really cool. And speaking of redesigns, I feel like the design of Super Sonic was absolutely incredible, and he really was so powerful, especially against Robotnik, who has now incorporated the Master Emerald powers inside of himself, so we're so unstoppable. But of course, Super Sonic is able to destroy Robotnik, so I thought that sequence was absolutely incredible. I love how they had a little bit of a boss battle. Of course, this is something, again, that you see in all of the video games, and I thought it was really cool to see this massive Eggman technology and mecha tech that Eggman has created for himself. I wasn't sure how they were going to get these big Eggman land technology aspects into this Earth world in this movie, as of course it's really easy to do that in the video games, but I thought they were really innovative and really clever with how they incorporated it, and this massive Eggman machine did look really, really cool. I absolutely love the fact as well that we have a bit of a snowboarding scene and the helicopter scenes, which again are just such pivotal moments from the video games, and the fact that they included it in this movie is just so good, such wicked fan service. I mean, the first movie was just trying to introduce and create this brand new world, but I feel like the second movie was just so faithful to all of its video game counterparts, and a lot of video game movies, to its credit, don't do a really good job in adapting themselves when they're in the movie or TV space, but I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just does such a wicked job, and of course all of the movie aspects are really, really cool as well. So for example, the wedding sequence was just absolutely hilarious. Rachel was just so good, literally one of the standout performers in this movie, and I'm really glad that they gave this character a lot of focus when she was just being absolutely true bridezilla. You can really understand exactly why she was doing all of this, and just her snappy remarks to Tom, especially when he's trying to get the ring, and the way in which she's reacting when she's finding out the truth that all of these people are actually gun members undercover, and then the way in which he's using Tails' tech. I feel like Tails' tech was just so wicked as well, and so faithful again to all of the video games and all of the cartoons. I just feel like that wedding sequence was just absolutely incredible. Hilarious. I think it's really great that they continued having another bar sequence in this movie, as of course in the first movie this was a really hilarious sequence, and the fact that they had one in this one was really, really cool. I feel like Tails' technology in the dance-off where Sonic won was just so good. Going back to the snowboarding sequence, I love the fact that Knuckles was called the Winter Soldier, which really was what he was doing, as he was just coming up every now and again and really thwarting all of the Sonic the Hedgehog plans. And I think Knuckles was just really brilliantly voiced by Idris Elba, and I just think the character was just so powerful, really true again to his video counterparts. I love the fact that he was able to be so strong with all of his knuckles, all of his punching, all of his speed, and really was able to be a threat to a lot of different characters. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more gliding, as I feel like this is a really cool aspect of the Knuckles character, but just his determination to find the Master Emerald is just so true to what we know about this character, and the fact that he's really not used to understanding how things work on the Earth planet, I think was really hilarious at the end of this movie. I absolutely love the temple sequence. Literally did feel like a bit of a video game, especially as the temple sequence is the last level and the last zone in quite a number of different games, and all of the booby traps literally did feel like you were playing a bit of an adventure game, and I just feel like they incorporated the aspect of different levels really, really nicely. And the ringtone, the Tom ringtone, was obviously Green Hill Zone from the first ever Sonic game, and Green Hill is something that does kind of make it a bit of an appearance in quite a lot of number of games, so I thought it was absolutely wicked that we saw that here. Another pop culture reference was of course Sonic right in the beginning of this movie trying to be a bit of a Blue Justice Batman knockoff, and the sequence where he is by the moon I feel like is another sequence again that we see in the Sonic Adventure game. So many references from Sonic Adventure. Obviously that game is so beloved and played by so many people, I think it's only right to incorporate a lot of that in this particular movie, and I can't wait to see Sonic Adventure 2 being incorporated in the third movie. But going back to the opening sequence, I really like the fact that we have a bit of an unskilled and really immature version of the Sonic the Hedgehog character, who isn't actually that great at being a hero yet, but does grow to become that character towards the end of this movie. And on that point, I feel like they captured Sonic so brilliantly, such a fun-loving character who has a pure heart of gold, and I just feel like they embodied the Sonic the Hedgehog character from the video games and the movies and the TV shows and the cartoons so wicked in this live-action space. And then finally, I love the fact that we have a bit of a second-in-command Agent Stone to Robotnik, who really admires and loves this character. And I just can't wait to see the other more famous robots making an appearance in future installments within this Sonic world, and then seeing how on earth Agent Stone is going to react to them. So as far as this movie is concerned, like I said, I feel like they did an absolutely incredible job. But now I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.